Hello, welcome back to the book of Samuel, and we are in chapter 28, verse 11. And until now, Saul has gone to a witch because he wants to talk to Shmuel, who has, of course, passed away. And the woman, and leading up to this, of course, Shmuel has outlawed witchcraft and anything like this, so he has to dress himself up not to look like Saul, and he has to go. And he says, when the woman says that the king has outlawed this sort of thing to be done, he says, "Don't worry, you won't be killed." So what happens? Verse 11, Tomer Ha'isha, so the woman says, "Et mi alelach, who should I bring up for you? Who'd like me to do?" And Vayomer, he says, "Et Shmuel ha'alili." He says, "I'd like you to bring up Shmuel." He doesn't have to say the Navi, doesn't have to say the prophet. Everybody knew who Shmuel was. So she continues on. Vatera ha'isha, the verse says in verse 12, Vatera ha'isha, and the woman saw at Shmuel. She saw Shmuel. What happens right away? Tizak gadol v'kol gadol. She cries out in a big voice. Vatomer ha'isha el Shaul lemor, and she says to Shaul, saying, Lamari tami v'etat Shaul, why did you deceive me? You're Shaul. You're going to kill me. So now the woman's afraid that Shaul is going to kill her. So she's getting very nervous. So what's Shaul's response? So the king said to her, Al tiri, don't worry. Kimara, what have you seen? Now he says, why? Don't worry. Why? Because he said, if I'm really the king, so then I already promised you I'm not going to kill you. So you have nothing to worry about. This is not to trick you. It's not to, and I'm not trying to entrap you. I just need to know. So he says, what are you seeing? How did you know that I was the king? Isha el Shaul. So she says to Shaul, Elohim re'iti olim min ha'aretz. I saw a great man coming up from the ground. Now what happened was, according to the rabbis, normally when a necromancer brings up a person, they come up with their leg facing upward and the face downward. So they're hanging upside down. When it came to Shmuel, and because of the honor of the king, Shmuel came up head first, like you and I are talking right now. So that's the way it was. She saw that the person coming up the way. She knew that was only because of the honor of the king, and so she is getting nervous. And so that's the first thing she sees. And that's how she knew that this was Saul. And also another thing she said, she calls him Elohim because that was the way of being an honorable person, because an Elohim is also a judge. So it says in the Torah, using the word Elohim for judge, it doesn't always mean God. And since it says Elohim, that's why she uses a plural for Olim, for those who are wondering. Okay. It's not referring to God at all. It's not referring to angels or God. It's referring to Shaul, the soul of Shmuel. So verse 14, Vayomer Allah, and so now he's testing her. He says, okay, Ma Ta'ara, what does he look like? I want to know, what's his appearance? Vatomer, and she said, Ish Zakein Ole Behu Otem Il. He's an old man, and he's enwrapped in a me'il, which is a type of clothing, a cloak. And that was, if you remember back, his mother made him a cloak for every year that he was there. And that was what he would always wear, according to other understandings. A me'il was always worn by a person of honor. So either way, but he was always known for that sort of clothing. V'yeda Shaul, and so Shaul understood, or he knew, ki Shmuel, who that it was Shmuel, v'yikod apayim artzav yishtachu. So what he does, he prostrates to the ground and he bows. Verse 15. V'yomer Shmuel el Shaul. So Shmuel said to Shaul, Lama hegastani lahalotati. What have you caused me to come up to you? What's going on? V'yomer Shaul. So Shaul says to him, I'm very distressed. I have a lot of problems here. What's my problem? Upalishtim nilchamim be that Palishtim are coming to fight against me. Ve'elokim. Now it's referring to God. Elokim sar mi halai, and Hashem is turned from me. Velo anani od, and he has not answered me. Gam biyad hanavim, either through the hands of the prophets, v'gam gachalamot, and also neither through dreams. And I'm calling to you to know what I should do. Now, what he doesn't talk about is the Urim V'Tumim, the breastplate of the Kohen Gadol. He didn't refer to that because, one, he's embarrassed, the rabbis say, that he wiped out the town of Nov, which was full of Kohanim. So he doesn't want to invoke that name. He has that shame, and that's going to help him out in the end. Verse 16. It says, "Vayomer Shmuel." So Shmuel said, "Shaleni." So if God is gone against you already, so what are you asking me for? Vashem Samelach. He already told me that God is not answering. He's turned away from you. He's become to you like an enemy. So what do you want from me? And he says 17. Vayas Hashem lo, and Hashem did to him kashir dibir biyadi, like he spoke through my hand. Vayikra Hashem et hamalachim yadecha. Hashem has ripped your kingdom away from you, and that could be reminiscent to the word ripping that when Shaul ripped Shmuel's cloak a long time ago. And what happens is Vayitna l're'acha l'David. So first time he says like this, and he gave it to your friend, which is how we would normally refer to it, but now he never used the word David while he was alive, because Shmuel's afraid that Shaul will kill him. But now, since Shmuel is dead, he doesn't be worried about Shaul killing him anymore. So now he identifies him very clearly. That is your friend, your fellow David, who I anointed before. But again, he's not saying that. So 18. He continues to say, Kasha lo shamat b'kol Hashem. Just as you, Shaul, did not listen to the voice of Hashem. And what didn't you do? V'lo asita charon apo ba'amalek. You didn't avenge, or you didn't use your, you didn't do what you're supposed to do to Amalek, to wipe him out. So al kain hadavar zeh, and therefore this thing is asher salacha Hashem v'yom. That's why Hashem is going to do to you this day. And what's he going to do? 19. Vayiten Hashem gam et Israel imcha. Hashem is going to give also Israel with you, biyad plishtim, to the plishtim, umachar, and tomorrow ata, you, uvanecha imi, and your sons will be with me, which means you're going to be dead. The gam et hamachane Yisrael yitin Hashem biyad plishtim, and also the camp of Israel, Hashem will give them to the hands of the plishtim. Now, what's fascinating here is Shaul has just said. Shmuel has just said to Shaul that you're going to die and you're going to join me. Why would he join him? If God's angry with him, why is Shmuel saying that Shaul is going to meet him? So Shmuel explained, Shaul, since you had embarrassment and about what you did in Nov, that embarrassment and the ultimate death on the battlefield was going to cleanse you of the sins that you had. And that's the true teshuvah that you're doing. As a result, you'll be joining me tomorrow. Okay, God willing, we'll find out what happens next as to what Shaul's response is. Have a great day, everybody.